TSMC postpones mass production at Arizona fab to 2025. TSMC blames lack of skilled workers for its US chip fab delay. Interesting.
There is a real interesting situation in America going on at the moment. Buy Windows 10 Professional for $15, activate instantly online with Microsoft, and keep it forever. Don't pay full price. Get the best deal from our sponsor, URCD Keys, using our link in the video description below. Full details on how this amazing deal works at the end of the video. You would think that with all the people complaining about inflation and no money, the people would be dying to get good paying jobs. But the good paying jobs are no longer in manufacturing, they're in technology. And the unfortunate truth is you do not take people who were good at building refrigerators and people who are good at building air conditioners and now make them good at building chips.
Doesn't it take a long time to get trained to work in a clean room?
And it also takes technically inclined people. It takes it. You don't take a guy who lost his truck driving job at Yellow, which is, have they declared bankruptcy yet? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know. But you'd think that you would plan for that. I mean, think, oh, I'm going to build this. Do I have enough people to work it? You'd think that that kind of would be on your list of requirements.
For those of you who don't know this, Yellow handles, I believe, 11% of all the freight in the United States. They're one of the largest trucking companies in the United States. And they've been around for a very long time, and they are currently petitioning the Kansas District Court to prevent a strike by the Teamsters. If the strike goes down, then they will be forced to file for bankruptcy. And they actually say in here, I believe, Chapter 7, liquidation, meaning they'll just simply close, and that's it, everybody loses their job. So this is tens of thousands of truck drivers and tens of thousands more people who are involved in loading and unloading all this freight who may very well lose their job next week.
Wow.
This, I don't think we've heard an outcome of this, but let's say, how many employees is it? Is it 30?
Make it a bit bigger so we can see.
I'm trying to look. No. Well, whatever the number is, the short answer is you don't take 30,000 truck drivers and suddenly move them to TSMC and suddenly have them making chips. And I'm not knocking truck drivers. I mean, look, we need people to do that kind of work. This is not a disrespect issue.
Nope.
This is not truck drivers aren't worthy to build. No. I would love for them to be able to get high-tech, good-paying jobs. That'd be great.
But it requires skill.
It's a different skill set.
Yes.
They spent 20 years doing this. You don't then go do this. Look, let's reverse it. If we suddenly needed 10,000 truckers tomorrow, you would not take a bunch of chip engineers and turn them into experienced truck drivers in a week.
No, you would not.
Would you?
No.
So that goes, it's both ways. I don't think America is focused enough on producing the top tech skill levels. You would think with all the STEM talk, all of the science and engineering talk, we must be overwhelmed with STEM-trained people. The U.S. Navy right now is so short of highly qualified people. Why don't you share with everybody what sign-up bonus the U.S. Navy is offering for the best of the best?
If you stack them, you can stack up to about $140,000 sign-on bonus. It's a lot. 50 grand here for this, 50 grand for this, 20 grand for this. You can stack several of them together to get up to 140 grand. That's a lot of money. What's that noise?
Alarm clock? From... Yes.
Good job, Junior Beals. Get out of bed.
$140,000 enlistment incentive maximum for nukes. On June 15, 2023, Navy Recruiting Command released its 5th enlistment bonus update for fiscal year 2023. They cannot get skilled people to save their life. So they are increasing multiple various caps and bonuses. So it's several different various bonuses that have to be stacked together, and obviously you have to see your recruiter, etc. And yes, enlistment bonuses are taxed, but 6-year commitment, $140,000?
So the question
That's
is,
a lot of freaking money.
why do the Taiwanese have so many specialists and we don't?
China, Asia in general has focused hard. Okay, look. I don't want to get into, this is not a race judgment because there's smart people in all departments. There really are. When you look at the demographics for the schools around us,
Yeah.
because they do break down demographics between white, black, Hispanic, and Asian.
Yeah, they do.
Almost universally, who has the highest test scores, the highest graduation rates, and the most starts in STEM?
Asia.
Asians. They are 10 to 20% higher than whites.
Yep.
They really are.
Well,
They focus on it.
They do.
Their parents are focused on it.
They focus on
Their
education.
families are focused on it.
Yep. Education is huge. Like we've got a bunch of little mom and pop kind of brain, I don't know what you call them, like education kind of places where you can go to learn math and English, and you always see the Asian people going in and the Asian people coming out, and very rarely do you see
anyone else.
So, they're very heavy focused on education. So I guess if we were, then yeah. So
now we personally are focused on that. What's our daughter doing right now?
Oh, I've got the kids enrolled in a reading program where they learn to speed read and comprehend, and there's.
I was more thinking of the CTE center.
Oh well, yeah, the CTE center as well,
and the dual enrollment in college.
And the dual enrollment in college. So yeah, we're trying.
How many students at our school are not taking advantage of that dual enrollment program?
A lot.
How old is our daughter?
14.
How many 14-year-olds have already earned college credit?
Not very many.
Ours has. And it's not that hard. She should graduate from high school with a college degree. How many of her classmates are doing that?
Associates, at least, yeah.
At least associates. Mm-hmm. It is a heck of a head start. If she goes to a 4-year university to pursue a STEM degree,
yeah,
how much does that put her ahead of all the other kids going to university to walk in already with an associate's degree?
Oh.
Now, for everybody complaining about student loans,
well, yeah.
How cheap is it for us to get that associate's degree in high school?
Much cheaper.
Almost nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more than the cost of a hot dog.
It's less than $200 a credit.
It's cheap as frickin' chips. I think the most expensive is the textbooks.
Yeah.
That's the pain.
Yeah.
But the classes themselves are almost nothing. They're not free. They might as well be. Mm-hmm. Considering what it costs to go to a 4-year university, it's so cheap.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So, and there's a bunch of stuff available to the kids today that were not available to us.
What would you have done if you'd had access to all that?
Oh my gosh.
You spent most of your 20s in college.
I did. 9 years.
You want a refund of your life.
I do.
You did it the hard way. You went and sat in class.
I did do it the hard way. You are correct. Hang on. We have a question. Where is it? You ready for this one?
Somebody commented, I think TSMC factories in Taiwan hire mostly graduates with doctorate degrees in engineering. How much does it cost to hire doctors to work in an Arizona lab? More than a little and less than too much. It costs what it costs.
Doctors in engineering? I don't think we have too many of them.
PhDs?
Yeah, it is PhDs.
How much would they have to pay Dr. Ian Cutters?
Oh, he'd be a perfect person for that.
throw $250,000 at him and pay for his move, and he might think about it.
Think about it. Yeah, exactly.
Well, he does live in the UK.
Well, I know, that's true.
But, you know, there's a saying, money talks and BS walks. Mm-hmm. I firmly believe that whenever companies complain about labor issues, the central problem comes down to this. You aren't offering enough money. Money fixes that. Oh, we need to hire 40 people tomorrow. Great. Go do that. Oh, there's just nobody to hire. How much are you paying? We're paying standard rates. Pay more. Well, what do you expect us to do? Just throw money at the problem? That's how you get things done. If you wanted to build the factory faster, if you want to build roads faster, have you seen how slow road construction is? I watched a really good video from a channel called Practical Engineering. This guy's name is Grady. He is a trained licensed engineer.
Oh, yeah.
Great YouTube channel. Practical. If you're interested, on YouTube, search for Practical Engineering.
Very good.
This guy, does he not sound, talk, and look like an engineer?
He does.
I love him because...
But it's good because you don't fall asleep listening to it.
And he's not drama.
No.
He's totally... But he's entertaining.
Yeah.
He builds practical models in his garage.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows what he's talking, or at least
Yep.
I think he knows it. I'm not a trained engineer, but he made an interesting comment about roads. He said, it can be frustrating watching roads take a long time to build, or it sits there for a few days and nothing seems to be happening. Most cities and states prioritize cost of road construction over speed of road construction. And so they have a limited number of resources of inspectors and engineers who have to do things at various stages, and they go around from project to project.
Correct.
And there are deliveries of supplies and materials that are staggered such to make them as economical per mile built, because we have a lot of roads in the United States and they're wider, bigger than most other countries. And so they focus on cost of building. When there's an emergency, he made a recent video about a bridge collapse due to a fire. A tanker truck had crashed into the pillar and had damaged the bridge. The crews were out there 24 hours a day. And the way the contract was written is the company doing the repairs got a bonus for every day they got it done before the deadline and a penalty for every day after. It gave them a financial incentive to have crews out there 24 hours a day, big lights set up, the whole 9 yards.
Getting it done.
The city had one of their engineers on standby, available for them at their beck and call anytime they needed something looked at. There were never crews standing around waiting for somebody to do an inspection or check something.
Right.
It's 2 to 3 times as expensive to do the work at that speed, but you get it done in 45 days or 30 days instead of 6 months. So it is possible for them to do it much quicker. You just have to throw those dollar bills at it. Well, if TSMC wants to hire more skilled workers,
then...
Looking for a Windows 10 or 11 product key, but you don't want to spend $100 to $200 for it? Our sponsor, URCD Keys, provides discounted Windows keys at amazing prices. $15 for Windows 10 Professional, $21 for Windows 11 Professional, and just $60 for Microsoft Office 2021 Professional Plus. These product keys are the real deal. They activate directly with Microsoft Online, link to your Microsoft account, and they work forever. For Windows, you simply go to Settings, Update and Security, Activation, click Change Product Key, paste the key provided by URCD Keys, and in seconds, you're activated with Microsoft. For Office, go to setup.office.com, sign in with your Microsoft account, paste the product key provided by URCD Keys, and then download Office 2021 Pro Plus directly from Microsoft. Remember to use the discount code TD20 to save 25% off the already deeply discounted prices and support our channel at the same time. We have been using product keys from URCD Keys for almost 5 years now without any issues and encourage you to do so as well. What does Marcus Lemonis do? Gets his checkbook out.
Does. Make sure I know where they have to take him from. They probably have to take him from universities. But 500? They need 500 of them. That's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people in
That's
America.
a lot of people with PhDs.
Outbid everybody else. What's the facility? How expensive is it not to have the facility working?
Well, very. Well, without it working, you've spent all that money and it's just sitting there idle, so that's dumb.
I'll give you an example of what throwing money at a problem looks like. I know a gentleman who is retired now, but he used to work in the oil fields down in the Gulf of Mexico. For those of you who are international viewers, the Gulf of Mexico, which is south of Texas, south of Louisiana, south of Mississippi, and west of Florida, produces 23% of all the oil we produce in the United States. There are 6,000 oil platforms out in the Gulf of Mexico. Tens of thousands of people work out there full time. Mm-hmm. Many more, actually, because they have shift swaps, but that's not the point. Most of them are your average everyday worker. Some of them are engineers. Some of them are more skilled. But there are the upper echelons of super senior, seen-it-all, know-it-all master experts. Mm-hmm. There's a guy who lived in Denver, Colorado, but he worked in the oil field 3 or 4 days a month. He didn't want to live down there. Been an engineer for many years. He was a master in the field. So his contract was, he was paid a retainer.
Okay.
And if they called him, his call-out fee was $10,000. And his contract required that they fly him on a private jet from Colorado to the Gulf and then fly him in a helicopter out to the rig, and he'd do his thing.
Okay.
It's the old joke where the factory is shut down, the company's losing $1 million every hour, whatever, it's not working,
yep.
And the guy comes in, he looks around, he taps a few things, he looks at this, he turns one thing, and suddenly the thing's running again.
Right.
And he sends a $10,000 bill to the company, and they're like, that's outrageous, you were here 5 minutes. Give us an itemized bill, all right? Turning the screw, $5. Knowing what screw to turn, $9,995.
Yep.
This guy is a troubleshooter who fixes problems when the oil rig shuts down. And if you have an oil rig that produces $1 million a day of oil,
you want that
$10,000 for the best expert on earth is cheap. So, but there are troubleshooters like that who are available on contract, on call, who come out. How expensive is it to have your chip fab not working?
Very.
Your employees cost whatever they cost, and it just is what it is. You say, well, how are we supposed to make money at that? What competition does TSMC have? Who else is building 3-nanometer chips?
Nope.
The wafers cost what they cost. The factory costs what it costs.
Well, they know
Apple's not going to stop buying them.
They know what their costs are.
Yeah. So whenever I see something where they go, well, it's just we just can't find employees. Get your checkbook out. Mm-hmm. Pay people what it takes to make it worth their while to come do the job.
Mm-hmm. All right, you ready for this?
Sorry for the rant. It's a pet peeve of mine. Sorry. Was there anything else you wanted to look at in this actual article before? We'll get to the super chats here in a second.
Looks like they're going to be securing visas to bring the workers in.
Yeah, great. Let's bring foreigners in so we don't have to pay Americans. Don't tell me there aren't 500 Americans you can hire to do that. I don't want to hear it.
I don't know. You would think.
There are 340 million people in this country. Don't tell me there aren't 500
and
people here.
1% have PhDs, so...
That's 3.4 million PhDs.
Exactly.
Now, they're not all in computer engineering.
No, they're not. But 500 out of...
But why would more people not want to get them if you could just keep bringing in foreign workers? The point is to pay Americans $500,000 to do that job. A $500,000 salary to do that is not unreasonable.
No.
But why would TSMC want to if they could bring in somebody from another country for $150,000?
For cheaper.
And people wonder where the middle class went.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
It remains to be seen how the delay of TSMC's Fab 21 launch will affect its customers in the US. On the one hand, the company can just reroute orders from clients like Apple, AMD, Nvidia to its Taiwan fabs. But on the other hand, its fabs in Taiwan may be running at full capacity in 2024. Furthermore, clients like AMD and Nvidia may want to produce certain items for the US government in the USA, and delaying them by a year could be a breach of contract. Oopsie.
You have to pay their expertise, not the time. Yeah, you're not paying somebody for their time, you're paying them for their knowledge.